No, I don't know about it. I saw it on television this morning. I'm not a fan of John Bolton. He's a real sort of a lowlife. When I hired him, he served a good purpose because, as you know, he was one of the people that forced Bush to do the ridiculous bombings in the Middle East. Bolton, he wants to always kill people, and he's very bad at what he does. But he worked out great for me because every time he doesn't talk, he's like a very quiet person, except on television. If he could say something bad about Trump, he'll always do that. But he really doesn't talk. He's quiet. And I'd walk into a room with him with a foreign country, and the foreign country would give me everything because they said, "Oh no, they're going to get blown up because John Bolton's there." He's not a smart guy, but he could be a very unpatriotic guy. I mean, we're going to find out. I know nothing about it. I just saw it this morning. They did a raid.
Do you expect the DOJ to brief you on this?
Yeah, they'll brief me probably today sometime.
And the foreign minister.
I tell Pam and I tell the group. I don't want to know about it. Just you have to do what you have to do. I don't want to know about it. It's not necessary. I could know about it. I could be the one starting it. I'm actually the chief law enforcement officer, but I feel that it's better this way.
The FBI has raided. They've raided John Bolton's residence, and the president of the United States says that he hates this guy. He doesn't talk unless he's talking about me, of course, which I'm going to get you the reasons why he's so upset. He can't even finish his lie. I knew nothing about it. I mean, I let Pam and Cash do all that type of stuff. I mean, I could know about it. I mean, if I wanted to, because, I'm the chief law enforcement officer, I can do whatever the hell I want. I mean, but I didn't know about it. I just tell them to go ahead and do their jobs. Come on, bro. This is why Donald Trump unleashed that raid on John Bolton's house.
You described the president as erratic, foolish, behaved irrationally, bizarrely. You can't leave him alone for a minute. He saw conspiracies behind rocks and was stunningly uninformed. He couldn't tell the difference between his personal interests and the country's interests.
I don't think he's fit for office. I don't think he has the competence to carry out the job. This is about Trump's lack of any significant historical knowledge, his lack of strategic thinking, and frankly, his lack of thinking about pretty much anything other than what benefited Donald Trump. Why was he concerned about Ukraine in the summer of 2019? Because he wanted that DNC server. Why was he concerned about corruption in Ukraine? Because he was looking for an excuse to cover the reason he was refusing to send $250 million of security assistance to the Ukraine. And only when that finally blew up in his face.
He did send some assistance, though. I mean, we did sell them arms.
It was mandated by Congress. My point is Trump was not fit to be president. He was not competent to be president. Trump has effectively surrendered to Putin before the negotiations have even begun. The positions that Defense Secretary Hegseth announced in Brussels, which I'm sure I'd be stunned if Trump didn't convey them directly to Putin in their phone call, constitute terms of a settlement that could have been written in the Kremlin. Maybe they were written in the Kremlin. Putin has scored a whole series of victories today. It's hard to encompass them all, but I think one, in addition to these substantive concessions, is that he has now, it seems, exactly what he wants. Putin doesn't want to negotiate with Zelenskyy. He wants to negotiate with Trump because he thinks he'll get more out of him, and he's absolutely right.
Witkoff knows nothing. In fact, he's more of a propaganda vehicle for Putin than anything else, conveying, for example, Putin's line that Ukrainians inside Kursk province were completely surrounded, which turns out not to have been true. But that's what Putin told Witkoff. Witkoff told that to Trump, and Trump then said it publicly. I think Putin has already received enormous concessions from Trump.
That quiet guy who did all that talking on TV, that might be one of the reasons why his house just got raided by Trump's FBI this morning, because he's a retribution president, as he said he would be. But he laid his ass out constantly. John Bolton used to work, obviously, for Donald Trump in his first term, and he's since written a book about his experiences and the way this guy was. Here's ABC News talking about it as if we don't know the real reasons behind what it is that they're doing.
The FBI is still inside of John Bolton's home in Bethesda, Maryland currently. They've been there for about 2 hours. And as you said, we believe that they are searching for what they believe is potential classified records that may still be in his possession. Now, recall back in 2020, the Trump administration actually sued John Bolton over his book, The Room Where It Happened, where he detailed in depth, meetings that he had at the White House under the first Trump administration that the White House at the time said constituted essentially classified material. They really wanted to stop him from publishing that book. They actually failed to get an injunction against him. But recall that the judge in that case did say that upon reviewing some of the materials that Bolton had published in the book, there were grave national security concerns over what he was publishing. We believe that this is probably stemming from that. That investigation was closed down during the Biden administration, but it appears based on the search that it was reopened under this Trump term.
They are hell-bent on making sure that ends. So they want to continue on this investigation that kind of fizzled out because they thought it was going to work out for them the first time. They probably also thought before he got his ass whooped in 2020 that he'd have the chance to continue on and re-trigger this after they didn't get it done the first time. John Bolton was actually talking about this. They said about 10 days ago.
We're about to talk about Trump's retribution campaign we're seeing at the FBI and the Justice Department. You're obviously on his enemies list, at least Kash Patel's enemies list. Are you worried that they're going to come after you in some way? I mean, he's hinted at it before.
Well, I think he's already come after me and several others in withdrawing the protection that we had from the Iranians for the attack on Qasem Soleimani. So I think, and I said in the new forward to the paperback edition of my book, I think it is a retribution presidency.
Yeah.
John Carl is like, yeah, that kind of sucks. Again, in case you guys don't know who John Bolton really is, he's a huge warmonger. At any moment he had the opportunity, he would talk about how he wants to bomb the next place and the third place and the fourth and fifth and sixth place after that. And he can't wait to go and kill more people. We need to raise the amount of money that we then feed into our military because we have to continue to attack and invade other countries. So, I mean, let's keep it real. That's why Donald Trump hired him the first time. And that's what he was alluding to when he said every time he go into a room, foreign leaders would be worried that we're going to go and kill them so they give me anything I want. John Bolton has a record for being a huge warmonger. He doesn't care. So it's not like John Bolton is a great guy, but John Bolton was starting to expose Donald Trump. And once that happens, all bets are off. It's time for the flipping and the changing on folks and the stabbing in the back to begin. That's what happened to John Bolton. So they're hoping that maybe the fact that so many people disliked and despised John Bolton because of his horrific political policies, foreign policies overseas, that suddenly, as people say, yo, you look like you're carrying out this retribution campaign, they're hoping that it'll be enough for this argument to then say, why are you defending John Bolton? Nobody's defending John Bolton. What we're doing is identifying and highlighting what it is that you're doing. Because obviously he went after every other Republican that also had bad policies. He went after Mike Pence for finally saying something. He went after everybody that's ever said anything about him because he's a petty, very small human being with a black soul in his heart. That's why. But still, his FBI director wanted to make it known that what it is they're doing has everything to do with the law under Donald Trump, the 34-time felon. So he tweeted out, as the raid was happening early this morning, no one in all capitals is above the law. FBI agents are on a mission. The mission that they're on to go after John Bolton and raid his house.